Gacha games have made many technological leaps in the last few years, from hack and slash games to full open world exploration and another 10 gigabytes on your phone. But what about third person shooters that double up as gacha games? Look no further though, because this is Snowbreak Containment Zone, a game that comes fresh from a random Chinese developer nobody's ever heard of. Snowbreak begins after mankind received a grim reminder. We lived in fear of the Titans, as they got sealed in these containment zones. And our main female protagonist, Erin Wednesday Jaeger, has been given the power of Odin as a manifestation to take revenge on the Titans that destroyed her home. On her side are the preppy Genki girl Fenny, whose name is yet another letter short of a butt joke, and Frithia, the science girl who likes weapons. Wait a second, I swear I have seen these three before. Nah, must be my imagination. And plenty of other manifestations as well, with special powers including a masochist sniper, static tower emplacement, the lazy one, and all of these other girls who basically look exactly the same. Your player character in the story is Captain Hardass, who commands these girls as he pulls out his Pip-Boy to check for rads and attempts to arrest everyone he sees for questioning. Except this guy though, he's an absolute asshole and you get to beat the living out of him with your friends. Wake the f up, samurai. It's time to stop the rumbling. Because he also has an alien brain parasite of unknown origin that gives him human emotions, makes him trip absolute balls, and gets him hunted by the Titans. All while you work with your questionably legal co-worker Caroline to dig up dirt on the boss, because she refuses to elaborate further on these plot-related things that include your alien brain parasite. Which brings us to the main part of the game, which is finishing the story missions in order to unlock everything by the end of chapter 5 of the main story. Gameplay is as simple as bringing in a team of 3 to blast everything you see in the face, then using your character skill, ultimate skill, and an off-field skill that you can use when the character is not on the field to even the odds, which literally covers the entire gameplay of Snowbreak for every single game mode in this game. In summary, I started blasting. Unlike a lot of gacha games where the wind is slow and the fire isn't hot, bosses in this game are actually skill-based and aim-based, are extremely fairly designed, and all have their own mechanics and distinct boss phases. Holy shit, is that Sundowner from Metal Gear?
Fucking invincible! Attaboy.
Outside of story missions, you get to roll gacha for characters, roll gacha for weapons, and of course, set up a base with rooms for your units. This is the base, where you will probably witness for the first time an actual base that you can physically run around in and interact with your totally not Nikkeis. You get pieces every 2 to 3 days to fill in a Tetris puzzle for your room tickets that you can use to give your favorite waifus items for their room. And my favorite character out of the entire lot of these girls have to be the girl out of time, Acacia, who was found frozen in a coffin for many years to be able to get treatment for an illness that can now be treated easily in this post-sort-of-apocalyptic world, who can also throw knives and... coffin? Knives?
Oh no!
Jotaro, her ultimate ability is to stop time.
No.
She's also a gamer girl and you can even give her a lightsaber to swing around in her room.
Another happy landing.
Like any other gacha game, the only way to get characters like Purple Dio in this game is to roll the gacha.
Yeah, baby!
And I'll keep it short. Pity is 80 rolls with a beginner roll that has 50 pity and 50 roll limit, which takes 8 tickets instead of the usual 10. And to top this all off, the devs were based enough and gave us the chance to choose one of the 5 base SSRs in the game for finishing chapter 5 of the main story. Only problem is, they don't let you try any of them out, so all you can do is choose the one that looks the cutest and simply hope for the best based on their skill descriptions and your
imagination.
The other game modes comprise of playing the co-op mode, Gigalink, the dispatch missions, and the character stories. Giga Chat missions will allow you to run through levels with friends or random people you found on the internet as they shame you with all the SSRs they have that you don't have, and also fight bosses and enemies, of course. And to spice up this co-op experience, the game gives you buffs from stations around the map that allow you to gain extra damage, increase ammo, and abilities like healing from every single shot you hit, with some coming to a cost of your total health or ammo. It's honestly the most fun part of the game, especially if you can convince your friends to run the game to the end of chapter 3 of the main story to actually join you. And with how random some of these buffs are, it makes for some really interesting builds in co-op mode, including unlimited knife throws, at least until your energy runs out and you have to use your gun again. The dispatch missions include boss fights for rewards in Neural Simulation, yet another Bloody Palace Abyss climbing challenge with Underground Purge, and my personal favorite outside of co-op, the tactic evaluation, where the only tactic that matters is hopping around like an absolute dumbass because you now get a jump key in this game mode. And if you don't know how happy I am to finally be able to jump around after 6 chapters without a jump button, you haven't played through 6 chapters of this game. As far as the character stories go, they give insight into characters that you don't normally get from the main story. Even if there's a limit to how many fragments you can get for SSRs as well as stamina for running side stories for fragments, is a far kinder system than you'll see from most other third-person games like this, as you can eventually ascend your purple SR characters past their original rank without rolling duplicates from the gacha. Which of course brings me to upgrading characters, where you equip and upgrade weapons, increase character levels, toss your duplicate character shards into your characters, and upgrade D-Wars alignments, which are character specific buffs which you unlock at certain levels. And you even get to see your character's backsides of their necks. Lewd, I know. You also get weapon attachments to add to your guns, and logistics that give extra buffs through cards, which you have to farm. And speaking of characters, as far as SSRs go in the game, every character is viable to build. They all feel the same and play the same outside of their skills and ultimates, and it's perfectly possible to run the game with a whole team of SR units if you chose to. The 3-star weapons are also pretty decent to use, so long as you choose the right elemental buffs for the character. And with the purple guns you get from progressing the game, I really wouldn't get too hung up about not getting any SSR guns. And that is basically all I have to say about Snowbreak at this point. The only flaw this game really has may end up being a lack of variety of content at this stage, but it is a new game after all, which makes it very forgivable. My verdict has to be a solid 8 out of 10. It's an honestly decent game with a clean UI and surprisingly decent boss fights that still require skill to defeat. A similar game to this was The Division 2, which was honestly boring in comparison and made us all fall asleep. But then again, when you get to play as a bunch of waifus with magical powers, of course it's gonna be more exciting. Which is the sad truth of the world, where the appeal of waifus will definitely earn you money. But is it worth playing in the end? Yes, just don't spend any money on the game and enjoy the ride, because the third-person shooting is definitely fresh in this saturated fantasy game market. And it can be a bit of a grind though, but I do have to say, I found myself enjoying this way more than yet another turn-based gacha game. For a game created by a dev team who nobody knew of, I do have to say, it's well done. But of course I know a lot of people will say medium rare is better. And so, as always, stay safe, stay humble, and keep your fingers crossed that someday Nikkei will take the hint. This is the Annie Night, and we will see you next time.